जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम 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 राम नाम
Same.
any tune.
You start, then I will.
Some tune of Ram Nam is whichever you are comfortable.
Okay, शुरू कर दे.
ओम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय
श्री राम
जय जय
जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम 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 जय श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय ओम श्री राम जय Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri 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 Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, 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 Om Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, 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 Om Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, 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 Om Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, 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 Om Shri Ram Jai 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 Ram, Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, 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 Jai Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, 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 Swami ji.
बैठिए आप बैठिए आप बैठिए
श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय राम,
श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम।
ओम श्री राम जय राम, ओम श्री राम जय जय राम, ओम श्री राम जय जय राम, ओम श्री राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम।
ओम श्री राम जय जय राम, ओम श्री राम जय जय राम, ओम श्री राम जय जय राम, ओम श्री राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम।
ओम श्री राम जय जय राम, ओम श्री राम जय जय राम, ओम श्री राम जय जय राम, ओम श्री राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम।
ओम श्री राम जय जय राम, ओम श्री राम जय जय राम, ओम श्री राम जय जय राम, ओम श्री राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम।
ओम श्री राम जय जय राम, ओम श्री राम जय जय राम, ओम श्री राम जय जय राम, ओम श्री राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम।
ओम श्री राम जय जय राम, ओम श्री राम जय जय राम, ओम श्री राम जय जय राम, ओम श्री राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम
No, Chatam.
जय राम,
Sridharan. No sound. Om Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram, Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Yesterday, while dwelling deeply on Yoga Karma Kaushalam and Samatvam Yoga Muchyate, there were a couple of times we repeated the word Salpam Apyasya Dharmasya Tarayate Mahado Bhayat. One of our friends suggested even the first line is also reassuring of this particular slogan. So today we will try to read that one, the previous one. Why, It gives us assurance, not that it encourages complacency, but whatever we do in the spiritual line, it will not go in vain. Unlike other projects, when we take up, suppose we live in between, we may lose the entire one, we will have to restart the whole thing. But in the case of spiritual journey, whatever we have done, it will not be struck off. It's a great assurance for us. One nama, good. It won't go in vain. One bhajan, meticulously traveling through the theme. Some words of a master, when we hear, it doesn't mean that we have to be satisfied with that. No. The thing is, nothing will go in vain. There may be many situations where we may not be able to continue in the same tone for some time. But again, when we come back and take the thread, whatever we have done, it will not go in vain. So these are the assurance given by Lord Krishna. In Kerala yesterday, the Krishna Jayanti was celebrated. But in North India, I think today is the one. So our friends here also, they are also organizing. That is why even our position has been changed. You would request somebody to show you that he is sitting there. He is observing what are we talking about.
This is laptop, my laptop. Laptop, no, because they can't see. Shall I hold? I'll hold it right now.
It won't go like that. Can you see?
Are you able to see?
Go near the photo, no?
Lord Krishna created.
Yeah. So in the second chapter, in the 39th sloka, he says, Yeshate Vihita Sankhye Buddhir Yoge Tvimam Shrunu Buddhya Yukto Yaya Partha Karma Bandham Prahasyasi. The wisdom of self-realization has been declared unto you. Hear now the wisdom of yoga, Buddhi Yoga, endued with which, O son of Partha, you shall break through the bonds of karma. Till now, we have been talking about Jnana Yoga. Sri Krishna was telling Arjuna to fight the war on the basis of the teaching of Jnana Yoga. Now he says, Yeshate Vahita Avihidi Sankhya. Till now I have told you about the approach of the Sankhyan line of thinking. But now you hear from me the yoga way of thinking. Yoga way of thinking and action. No? Yoga way of thinking and action. This is something very important for all of us to understand. In whatever field we are trying to bring this yoga dimension. I am going to tell you this new philosophy of yoga, how work can lead us to spiritual realization. If you have to work, the work you do so is real, people with whom you deal are real. If you think that the world is unreal, there is no fun in work. In fact, we have been taught this idea of the world being unreal. And yet, we have to work there. And our work will show absolute unconcern, half-minded work. Most of our people now, when they work, are half sleepy. It applies to us also. They have no interest in the work around, except very special individual person. But why did that attitude come? Because this unreal world philosophy was spread through various channels to the people. Sab duniya jhoota hai, jhoota hai, jhoota hai. There is nothing in it. You remain your own self. That teaching was given to our people long ago through various channels. Without looking at all aspects of the teaching, we became distorted in psyche. In a great teacher or in a great spiritual sadhaka, this human unconcern was not there. But to millions of people, the result was a dried up heart. No concern for others. That attitude also came. What will be the result of this yoga buddhi? Krishna answers, Buddhi yukto yaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi. If you develop this buddhi, yoga buddhi, one great result will be that through work you will attain that spiritual freedom which jnana gives. You can continue to work in any field. You can handle the work situation, handle other human beings. In and through all these, you would become free from all bondage that work produces otherwise. Action produces bondage only if you do it ignorantly. But this yoga buddhi will help you to perform all actions, yet not to have any bondage at all. Achieve that same spiritual perfection, spiritual freedom, which the jnana yogi gets. But in addition, you will be a warm-hearted person, deeply interested in the people in and around you. You will be doing great good to the people, to the society. This new philosophy which Sri Krishna is expounding to Arjuna and to all of us has not been expressed in our life and action, has not been expressed in our life and action all these 1,000 years. But in the modern age we can do so, and we will do so. Our whole life and work system in India needs a revolutionary transformation. That comes only from hard work, work with dedication, work with a great sense of human urgency. So that philosophy is very, very important for us and for a large part of the world as well. So Sri Krishna says, Buddhya yukto yaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi. Endowed with this yoga buddhi, O Arjuna, you will destroy all bonds of action. You are afraid of action, that it may create bondage. I am assuring you, if you take the yoga buddhi, no bondage will come. That is the philosophy which can bless and elevate every human being. Most people cannot give up work, so most of us will be in bondage. Why should it be so? All of us can be in work as well as kept free from bondage. That is the universal relevant, karma bandham, arising from karma. You will destroy it, prahasyasi. Karma will remain, bandha will go. This is a great teaching for all people. Then Sri Krishna gives a beautiful characteristic of this path. So before going to the next one, what is this yoga buddhi? No? Yoga buddhi is that we try to do things with a heart full of dedication. No self-interest is there. Anything we do it with perfection. Knowingly we do it. Nothing in an, what you call, half-hearted. Papa used to say, clumsy, irregular, half-hearted. It will be perfect, it should be done in the way in which it is to be done. Because then the dedication comes in. The result of which is enjoyed by others. This is not a new thing. We are seeing it in every house, in every individual. Nothing is irrelevant, nothing is unimportant, nothing is insignificant. Every act we do with a touch of love, with a touch of perfection, with a touch of dedication, with a touch of gratitude. And this is called yoga buddhi. And when this is done, it may not be possible for us to have it. Our old baggage may come and influence us. So here Sri Krishna advises, Neha vikramana shosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayad. In this there is no waste of unfinished attempt, nor is there protection of contrary results. Even a little of this dharma protects one from great fear. That's the great path of yoga buddhi. There is no fear of any loss of unfinished attempt. You do something, you leave it due to some circumstances. When you come next to it, you have to restart once again. Many things in life belong to this category. This is especially true of all religious rituals. But in this case, there is no such trouble. So rituals you do, you finish a ritual half, then you return to it, you cannot continue the next half. You have to start from ABC once again. But in this path, everything is cumulative. You do what you can, then leave it. After some time, you can come back again, continue from where you left it off. Continue further, what can be called cumulative development. We have heard this word cumulative, once upon a time. Nowadays we don't know, we are in touch with. The interest, when we put a deposit in the bank, there are two options. Either you can monthly draw the interest or cumulative. It gets on added, even without your knowledge. So similarly, continue further. Character development is always cumulative. You do something, you build up character, then you have other things to do, then you forget all about it, come back again, restart. That is the meaning of this wonderful shloka. Neha abhikrama nastosti. Nasosti. Pratyavayo na vidya. There is no evil resulting from some mistake in the action. Then comes a tremendous assurance. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate magato. Even a little of this dharma, This philosophy will save us from great fear. Character development is not just a matter of one day. You go on doing it, slowly build up. Build up a great character, a strong character. It takes time. And so cumulatively you are building up a wonderful character with tremendous humanist resources. In all character development, there is no waste of unfinished attempt. Whatever you have done before leaving off remains yours. Yesterday we were sharing, when we learned cycling, initially we may fall half a dozen times. And finally one day, we get the balance. The balance remains with us, whether we do the cycling or not. It will not be lost. Just like a man building a house, it has got 100,000 rupees as the estimate. He has only 10,000, so he lays the foundation, builds up the plinth. Then the money is exhausted. Let it remain. It is good for it. It will be well get stabilized. Later on again, he get 10,000. He builds it up still further. Then further money came. In this way, in so many stages, the building becomes completed. This is what happens in all efforts at character development. And this development of character has one wonderful quality. It makes you strong, it makes you fearless, it makes you compassionate, it makes you feel one with all. Therefore, even a little of this dharma will save us from great fear. Gita's teaching, even a little is better than nothing. It is not all or nothing. Sri Krishna says to one and all, as much as you can, take from my teaching, build up your own life and character as much as you can. Don't depress yourself with the thought, oh, that man has done so much, I don't have that strength, I shall do nothing. No, this is not a correct attitude. That man has done according to his strength. You do according to your strength. Step by step, inch by inch, build up your great character and personality by handling this psycho-physical energy system that is within you. Out of your psychic energy system, you are going to produce a remarkable product, namely Buddhi. Buddhi Yoga. Discriminative faculty. A luminous point within the human sensory and psychic system that is to be developed out of the same psychic energy system. It's a tremendous psychic chemistry we do within the human system. We convert the whole body into a laboratory. There we are slowly evolving this Buddhi. Buddhi is your intelligence, discriminative faculty, your will, and all emotions mixed with it in a beautiful harmony. It is the greatest instrument of human development. Reason, imagination, and will are integrated in it. That is what we need. And the Gita is going to tell us again and again the greatness of Buddhi. In many places you will find it invoked in the Gita. Buddho Sharanam Anvicha. You take refuge in Buddhi. With that Buddhi you will achieve everything. Buddhi is essentially reason, but not dry intellectual reasoning. Reason which has been reinforced by emotions, by feeling. All motivation comes from emotion and feeling, not from intellect. And then comes will with its power of impact. And so when you combine all the three, you get a wonderful instrument of human development. And this is called buddhi. A student in school and college studies, studies various books. The ultimate result of all studies should be the evolution of that buddhi. Then great things will come for oneself as well as for others. A person goes to a doctor, the doctor examines and tells the patient, you must take 1 liter of milk every day for your health. Doctor, I don't have that much money to take 1 liter of milk every day. All right, then take a liter every day. He will say, then finally 1/4, half a liter every day, sorry. All right, then take half a liter every day. Then finally 1/4 liter, take even a little, it is good for you. That is the nature of this teaching. As much as you take, that much is good for you. If I can take 1 full liter, I shall not take any milk at all. That is not correct. So, swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahatu bhayat. It's a wonderful clue given to all of us that in whatever field God has placed us, the family, profession, society, whatever actions that emanates from us, we are praying to Him to somehow bring this dimension of dedication to you. And then, the tangible, one of the palpable gains we observe is when we are, how to build up character. It is not material, it is purely an internal development. So how do we do that? We will come across with people who lead such a, inspiring life and mission. We get attracted toward them, we try to go through. Some of it will remain with us. We observe somebody doing a wonderful job. Impact will remain with us. We read. During our COVID period, especially in the initial stages, people made such a big fuss over it. Even to see a person affected, we were warned, So many. Our Rajagopal in the ashram, he got stuck in Coimbatore. After 6 months, somehow he decided, enough is enough, I have to go to ashram. So he engaged a taxi. And while he has to apply to the authorities, and as soon as the news came that he is coming, our Srinivas was set apart. Without seeing anybody, he straight away went into the room. And the door was closed. Somebody from outside will ask something. Food will be sent outside. The department came. They got the information that he has reached. That was the condition. Even at that time, throughout India, definitely, but definitely we had access towards the more news in Kerala. Everybody was trying to do whatever he or she can to others, affected others. And every day in our Malayalam newspaper, some news will be given. Sridharan in our office, he took out the whole thing, prepared a book. For posterity, we should try to read. So we normally, why should we be prompted? That means, this is how we build up. We get an inclination to find out what somebody has done good for somebody, Then the mind space becomes good. Mind space is full of goodness, humaneness. And when we read it, when we compile it, when we read it, not only that we are happy, others are happy. So this is how we try to build up, little by little by little. He has beautifully mentioned about that house construction. So today we were able to meet a Mahatma. For the next 1 or 2 months we may not meet a Mahatma at all. But whatever we have gained from the Mahatma, it will be there in the subconscious stage. Now we understand why Papa said in that quotation, the world we live in is a school in which observation and experience offer us immense possibilities for our self-improvement. Nay, the world itself is Guru or God. So this is how we build up. We keep our eyes open, ears open, and how God through His creation reveals Himself in their thoughts and actions. It is not from the, if it is from the individual level, it will not impress us. But if it is something more than individual level, that means more than me to me, it gets stamped in our heart. People who are in Bombay, they will also hear such things, when the floods, when there were floods, how people risked themselves and distributed roti and sabji to many, many people who cannot cook. Water was full. When tsunami took place, we had seen with our own eyes in south of Tamil Nadu, when our people rushed up there, more than 1,000 kits were prepared, and it was a joy to see how they collected and the whole process. Even when floods were in Wayanad, 2 people from North India, absolutely, they don't know Malayalam. They happened to come here. It was decided ashram would enter into it. The provisions came from Calicut. And then 2 people have done the more than 1,000 or 1,500 kits. There are about 10 or 15 items. And when we watch, not a word, morning till evening, they sit and do it silently. He has not told anything about it. That means dedication. This is Buddhi Yoga, Buddhi Yoga. Do it only for the sake of that and with perfection. So they are free from karma bandha, bondage. So God makes us to observe, and He will also make us to involve. He will make us to hear such stories, such episodes, not stories. He will make us to hear from a evolved soul about what had happened some time back. So this is how we build up. So Lord Krishna wants us to apply this in our mind. It is not that buddhi is to be used only for, to improve our career or to improve our skill in action. No doubt it is necessary, but along with that skill in action, another dimension also is to be brought. One example comes to our mind. There is a big top officer in a big company, very big company. He is the number 1 in sales. That company's first product was a tiny little one, something like a spark plug. After that, they have switched over to bigger one. But for sentiment's sake, they still have this spark plug. One day, when he was going to the office, morning 7:30, he used to go to office. Suddenly, there was a breakdown, some problem cropped up in the car, and he had to reach the office urgently. So he left the car somewhere and informed the office to send somebody to look into it, and he got into a taxi and then reached the office. While he was traveling, he asked the driver, "Car is going on well, your spark plug is okay?" Then he said, "Oh, adondu helbedi." In Kannada he said, "Please, I don't want to talk about it. There is a big company whose product is this, thinking that it is a first class quality product. I went and bought it. Again, it gave me a problem." This was the company, you know. And there is no use. When we contacted their thing, they also did not positively respond. So we have decided to go in for the other one, champion plug. As soon as the taxi reached that particular, before that company, he got down. He said, "Please go down." Went to the driver. He said, "I belong to that company. I apologize for the lapses on our part. And here you kindly take as a compensation for you." And he gave on that day, it was 200 or 300 rupees. And then he said, "You need not buy this company. Whatever you are comfortable with, you can buy. But I really apologize, and I will try to see that such things do not happen for other customers." The man, he was a simple driver. The moment he came to know that he is from this particular company, he immediately got up. "I only casually told, I didn't mean it. So you don't have to pay anything. I have got over. I will go back to the same product only." No, you please accept it. This is my duty. Now look here, when we heard about this incident, we were working in that company in 60s. That's why it is so much in our heart. It is a tiny little thing, compared to what that company produces. It was a zero, not 1% importance is there for this product. But this man, he did not view it like that. We are trying to understand Yoga Buddhi, It is not the intelligence, It is not the rational thing. What is there? If he doesn't buy, somebody will buy. That's all. No, not like that. A customer, we are producing something to meet the demands of the customer. And if it does not be met with, we should apologize, we should compensate. And immediately after going to the office, he immediately contacted the branch, and the branch contacted the authorized dealer and conveyed to him, "This is the report we got. It is not correct. That is not our ideal. Our first and foremost consideration is that our customer should be satisfied. No matter whether it is 1 rupee business, whether it is 10 lakh business." That aspect, Whether it is 1 rupee business or a 10 lakh rupee business, our customer is our whole thing. So when we are here listening to Lord Krishna's Buddhi Yoga, nothing is irrelevant, nothing is unimportant, nothing is insignificant. Nobody is irrelevant, nobody is unimportant, nobody is insignificant. Easy to say, But in any field this can be applied. Then it becomes Buddhi Yoga. So like that, when we do in anything, once when we were in Wayanad, we have shared this, but for the sake of newcomers, and to understand this Buddhi Yoga. We went to the filling station and petrol or diesel, whatever we put. After then we gave him the money. He did not have the changes. So 1 rupee, he said, next time when you come, you can give. So the Jain, who was driving, he went out, we drove, stopped at the next shop, bought something, and got this 1 rupee, returned back, and gave him. So on a lighter vein, I commented that we would have spent 3-4 rupees more to pay this 1 rupee. But he said he is accountable to his employer. This 1 rupee will have an impact on his earnings. Tomorrow when we come, we may remember, he may also remember, we may forget, he may also forget. And then we owe to him, for that we have to take one more birth. See, 1 rupee, na? Just imagine. We are trying to understand Yoga Buddhi, na? Buddhi Yoga. So in all our tiny dealings, in our seemingly insignificant dealings, we can try to bring this factor. And whatever we do, that will stay. Even tomorrow I forget, whatever I have done, it will be there. This is how slowly we build up the character. Through examples we can easily understand, rather than tall talks or philosophy. When he says, suppose, Swalpamapyasya dharmasya, whatever, even if we do a little, that will help us. Please think about it. Anybody would like to share any experience they have seen, observed anything? It should touch and kindle those incidents. Then only it will stay with us. Otherwise, immediately after this session, we will forget. Yoga Buddhi. Action is there, but action is free from bondage. No? That means it is not self-centered. If it is self-centered, it brings this bondage. If it is not self-centered or selfless, if it is selfless, it will not bring in any bondage. Dedication, loyalty, perfection, all these are synonyms for this. Anybody remembers anything? All are keeping quiet. Any incident that has touched your heart.
Naresh Bala's son, that pencil.
During our, when we heard about the tsunami in Nagapattinam, near Pondicherry, we rushed up. So many things were arranged. and distribution was taking place. And personally, we wanted to go there. At that time, one friend, from Bangalore also joined, who is equally involved in all these types of activities. But when we went to the rehabilitation center, because everything has been devastated. They are thrown out of their house, whatever possessions. So some shamiana is put up, and many families are staying there. Some NGOs are distributing food items. We were also distributing. So we were going from one camp to another. And small children, without knowing the seriousness, they were playing. As soon as we were coming out from one camp, when this friend from Bangalore saw these children, immediately he said, wait. Please go back. My son has given something to be distributed to these children. This person is highly well off. Even to enter his cottage, there are so many hurdles, security. And he takes the son in the car to the school and then comes back. So for all intents and purposes, we can say the son is absolutely out of touch with the common run of life and common man or common children. But when he heard that his father is going to this particular place, he gave a packet. He said, when you go there, you can distribute this to the children there. So when we opened in from our vehicle, they are all pencils, sharpened pencils, And after sharpening it, to ensure that the nib does not get broken, the packing was superb. As soon as we gave that and the paper, children were immediately started using it. Then we remembered that boy's forethought. Not merely giving something, Devastation has taken place, nobody will be having a sharpener. Everybody will be concentrating on adults. There will be hardly anybody who will be concentrating on the innocent children. They may not know anything about all these things. They are in their own world. So this boy thought about all these things, Buddhi Yoga. We're trying to understand Buddhi Yoga. He thought about every aspect of it, and the way in which he brought these 100 pencils together. Each one he had to do the, sharpening, and then pack it in such a way that it becomes useful the moment you deliver it. Buddhi Yoga. Through examples, if we are only concentrating on me to me, we will not come across with this. But when we are trying to move out from this me to me and me to we, God will facilitate us to witness such laudable contribution by people who will not utter a word about it. That is the beauty of it. Now the boy is in states, highly well off. When he comes back, whenever we say this one, he has already forgotten about it. There are many such instances. Because to understand Buddhi Yoga, God has already given to us the opportunity to observe. And when we are touched, it has its own place in our mind. And that is why the samskara slowly develops, character slowly develops, and it will have its own impact on our thoughts, words and deeds, probably in a limited measure, but again and again and again when we keep on talking about it, thinking about it, it gets rooted in us, so that the me to we becomes more and more stronger than me to me. So in a nutshell, we can say Buddhi Yoga means me to we. Me to we, not for the sake of name, fame or anything, but for the sake of inner satisfaction. No? The joy you get by doing it. You are not bothered whether it is acknowledged by others or not. The highest. So we build up character like this. Our whole life and work system in India needs a revolutionary transformation. You have to start from 1 second. Even a little is better than nothing. As much as you can take from my teaching, build up your own life and character as much as you can. Don't depress yourself with the thought, oh, that man has done so much, I don't have that strength, I shall do nothing. That is not the correct attitude. That man has done according to his strength. You do according to your strength. You remember the Yudhishthira's story 3 days back we read? You read? You remember? Everybody has forgotten. Nobody says anything.
Golden mongoose, no, Swami.
Oh, at least one person. Very good. Golden mongoose, whatever is possible. Na? When a hungry, emaciated person gets something to eat, immediately somebody comes at the door and he gives his share. Then he is not satisfied. The wife also gives her share. And then the son also gives his share. And 3 died because of starvation. Why are we reading it? We are trying to understand as much as you can. He may not be able to do so many things. Whatever is possible. Step by step. You do according to your strength. Step by step, inch by inch, build up your great character and personality by handling the psycho-physical energy system that is within you. Out of your psychic energy system, you are going to produce a remarkable product, namely Buddhi. Buddhi Yoga, Yoga Buddhi, discriminative faculty, a luminous point within the human sensory psychic system. It is a tremendous psychic chemistry we do within the human system. We convert the whole body into a laboratory. Then we are slowly evolving this Buddhi. Buddhi is your intelligence, discriminative faculty, your will, your emotions, mixed with it in a beautiful harmony. It is the greatest instrument of human development. Reason, imagination, and will are integrated in it. This is what we need. And the Gita is going to tell us again and again the greatness of Buddhi. Buddhau Sharanam Anvicha. Take refuge in Buddhi. We thought, the rational mindedness by the word Buddhi. With that Buddhi, you will achieve everything. Buddhi is essentially reason, but not a dry intellectual reason. Reason which has been reinforced by emotions, by feelings. All motivation comes from emotion and feeling, not from intellect. And then comes will with its power of impact. And so when you combine all the three, you get a wonderful instrument of human development. This is called Buddhi. A student in school and college studies various books, but the ultimate result of all studies should be the evolution of that Buddhi. Then great things will come for oneself as well as for others. A person goes to a doctor. Doctor examines and tells the patient, you must take 1 liter of milk every day for your health. Doctor, I don't have that much money to take 1 liter of milk. All right, then take half a liter. Then finally 1/4. Or take even a little, it is good for you. That is the nature of teaching. As much as you take, that much is good for you. If I can't take 1 full liter, I shall not take any milk at all. That is not correct. So, swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Starfish. Starfish is also a wonderful, inspiring episode. Many people may know or may not know. We will repeat, at least for our sake.
Swamiji,
How
a squirrel helped Rama build up the bed? Little by little, it has made its own small contribution.
Which one?
The squirrel.
Squirrel.
Little. Helped Rama.
Sure. We have to keep on, we have to, not merely reading. Not merely reading, assimilating and then trying to see it. God will definitely provide. Whatever is there in the Quran, we don't know much, but we have heard a few. The moment we hear that, we try to understand it in our own way. கற்றது கைமண்ணளவு என்ன கல்லாத உலகளவு.
Swamiji, he is telling about the squirrel.
Rama is building the bridge.
Squirrel. Oh, I thought about squirrel.
Anil Swamiji.
Squirrel also is a wonderful thing. Buddhi yoga, it will help.
Yes, Swami.
Tirukural. Squirrel is, that also is there.
Rama's time,
Here he makes you to think. In Tirukural, the aphorisms have been given in a limited word, and then when we start seeing it, it's most practical. What we have understood is only limited. What we have to understand is...
It is only in 7 words.
7 words.
First line 4 words, second line 3 words.
Which one?
Tirukural.
So many are there, no? When you go to Tamil Nadu, when you travel in the state transport, you will see in every bus there is a Quran there. It's a big book.
No, but what he is telling is, in every Quran, first is 4 words, second line is 3 words.
Let us not be technical, no. What we are trying to understand is the essence, what the Quran conveys to us. It has been translated into different languages, and then only we came to know about it. Our Ravi, Madras Ravi, he used to share with us many of the Qurans. It will all help us in developing and understanding this Buddhi Yoga. Because in simple language, it is not a story or a, what do you call it, Puranic. At that time it was possible. Today is it possible? Our mind may not be able to understand. So let us try to keep our eyes open, ears open, and start looking for episodes that touch and kindle in us this Yoga Buddhi. That is the take-home message for us today. Plenty are there before us. Plenty of persons are also there.
Swamiji,
Ah.
how about yoga of remembrance?
Yoga of remembrance.
Remembrance. Yoga of remembrance. Because Buddhi Yoga, you told, he is asking remembrance. Yoga of remembrance.
I couldn't understand the word remembrance.
Sir, remembrance is the gate word of Nama.
That is-
Likewise, the man to just answer Swamiji's questions immediately. instant reply is not coming. That's why another aspect I am asking.
Okay, when we ask if you don't come out, it is all right. You will be happy if it has touched and kindled. That is enough. Yoga of remembrance, when we put, it may be difficult, agreed. Suddenly it may not strike. But let it go on touching and kindling, Well, all of us have been blessed with that. We can definitely say those who have been associated with spiritual institutions or any Mahatmas will definitely be on this path. And God will definitely enable them to look for such or make them to observe such outstanding activities. But if it is shared, it will be useful for everybody. Okay, if it is with me, that also is helpful, no doubt about it. But if it is shared, others would not have heard such thing, and we will be able to understand the word Buddhi Yoga better, that's all. The more we try to bring this, episodes, examples, that means the more and more we are trying to understand the word Buddhi Yoga. And it will get stamped in our psyche. So that is very important. So today also Papa facilitated us to dwell on a very important aspect. And yesterday when our friend suggested the first line of this, that is also interesting, that made us to look into this. So that is how he arranges, When we are steadfast in that, he will see to it, otherwise we will be satisfied with that one word. Svalpamapyasya dharmasya. We have never applied our mind. We have read this sloka, agreed, but never we have applied that mind with that perspective. Only when he suggested yesterday, after leaving, he said the first line is also very, very important. Then just before coming here, we took the book and went through. Yes. Then the previous stanza, that was also very nice. So then we are watching how Papa is facilitating us to go through that through his creation. That itself is a proof. You be on the line, I will give you whatever is needed as and when it is needed. All these are to be noted, not merely what we have read out from the book. How it has been facilitated, how we were able to get this Ranganathanji Maharaj book, where it is beautifully brought out. And then he makes us to think about various incidents that has amplified the meaning of this particular word, Yoga Buddhi. And it's a good revelation for all of us. So, because when somebody says nothing will go in vain, we are all happy. So many, for example, Papa Mataji, when they came here in 1931, this place was totally backward area. Totally. Financially, educationally backward area. And then it was how the motivation came for them to set up a school. How the motivation came to set up a hospital. How the motivation came to set up a vocational training center. And then afterwards it was handed over to the government or the society. And even now, that school has become from an LP school to UP school to high school to now plus 2. It was a small building, now it has got big building, so many buildings. The hospital has become the PHC center. What a joy! Even today morning we have to go to Madhuvan, where nearby Ashram's land is there. The moment we look at it, Anandashram Public Health Center, so many people are going and making use of it. Good doctors, good paramedical staff. So many are getting. We were thinking about Papa Mataji, how they were instrumental in setting it up. So these are all giving us, Buddhi Yoga. You will never find any mention of it in any of these, unless we dig out and go to the history of Ashram's activities in 40s, 50s. Afterwards, you would not have seen it all. Many people may not know it all. So we are trying. So all these things will help us to know Buddhi Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, Buddhi Yoga. Dedication. Where me to we, me to we, me to we. Absence of self-centeredness, selflessness. So let us all try to retain as much as we can and pray to Him from the bottom of the heart to keep on guiding us so that every act of ours comes under the category of Buddhi Yoga. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om